Leg day, baby. Here we go. Time to get those quads going. We get them pumped big. Back day yesterday was also fantastic. I just felt like I was finally getting that posing down. Because then I don't know what I was doing wrong. I felt like instinctually I had to like bend forward, but that would be sticking your chest out because I wanted my lats to flare out, but you actually got to concave your chest in if someone's viewing you from the back. And then your back looks huge. It's like, oh. So you don't know what you're doing. It definitely helps to do some research or have someone teach you. And I'm just YOLO swagging, posing out here, so all good, no problem. And I was doing my how insulin works research. And I don't think I realized when the difference between eating protein and carbohydrates, your insulin spikes for a long time and a lot when you have carbohydrates and you're just burning carbs. You're not burning any body fat when that happens. You get a little response from protein, but it's not nearly as long of a duration. And when you're on Retta, it's a very acute sniper response insulin spike. So you suck up all that protein into your muscles, and then your insulin drops again, and you're back to burning body fat. If you overeat, your protein macros, well, you can turn protein into fatty acids, but it's a long process. Way easier for the body to do carbohydrates than the fat. But that was kind of interesting because now I understand why people used to say, oh, carbs are the enemy. Well, because on paper, you only can either burn carbs or, it is a mix, but you burn one or more of the other, depending on how many carbohydrates you've eaten versus protein and fat. Because if you've eaten a ton of carbs, you're not burning the fat. But if you don't want to just eat fat either, but you would just be burning fatty acids. But everything is governed by your calorie intake. But how your body composition works, that's governed by your insulin response. So you don't want insulin very high. You only want it when it's required. And if you're insulin resistant, that's bad because now you got that diabetes. But if you're insulin sensitive, which all the GLPs help with that's a good thing because then your cells are uptaking the fuel you're giving them. Instead, if you're insulin resistant, it's just sitting in your bloodstream, and then eventually gets just converted back to fatty acids. Because you can break down the fatty acids, but if you don't ever actually burn them, they just recycle back into fat in your body. You got to break it down. Having a low insulin with proper eating, so that your body will go into lipolysis do the process of lipolysis. You'll break down that body fat, and then it'll be sitting in your bloodstream. Well, now you got to burn it, just like anything else, even as if it was glycogen. And that's when you start burning off body fat. Now, where the body fat comes from, it's up to your body. There's no way to influence that. That's just predetermined genetic code from your ancestors 10,000 years ago. Where it comes from, not up to you. Not consciously. Up to your governing DNA structure. So that's kind of how the whole process works. You want to not have so much glucose in your bloodstream so that you switch over to burning fatty acids. Well, so that you switch over to breaking down the fat into fatty acids, and then you got to burn the fatty acids. And then that fuel supply, that's what's running your body. And that's when you get into like ketosis, when your body starts burning ketones for fuel instead of the glucose. And that's kind of like the magical state everyone wants to be in. But even then, it's always governed by your calories in. Because even if you just ate, say you can go look up, Professor did the Twinkie diet. He ate only Twinkies to see if his health markers were improving, if he lost weight. But he ate under his maintenance to his daily maintenance requirements for calories by less. I forget how many calories, 700 calories or something like that. Bro lost weight, blood pressure improved, cholesterol improved. Why? Because he lost weight. There was less body fat. You do need some body fat just to live, in a general life, but ultimately it's extra weight that's not healthy for you because you're just carrying it around over and over every day. It makes everything very difficult. So with that in mind, you can eat anything and lose weight. What your body composition is going to look like depends on what food you're eating and if you have a training regimen. All right, well, let's hit this leg day. All right. That was rough, man. Leg day. Always kicking my ass. Never had an easy leg day. Ever. Takes a ton of time. Well, the time thing's my own fault. Just because I'm dicking around with the camera and just kind of like going slower. But man, it's just such an exhausting workout. Just so much is involved. You just hit your quads so hard in that muscle group. That muscle group is it just needs so much energy. And I feel like I'm a little bit carb depleted too, which is not helping the cause here. So need to go home and hydrate, number one. Definitely hit some protein. And I think I need some carbohydrates. But I'm also going to hit the treadmill. Yeah, I think I need some carbs, especially when I hit the treadmill. Because your body takes time. I'm not aiming to be in ketosis, but your body does take time if it's going to go there to do the fuel transfer over. And I am certainly not there. And I shouldn't even be in there because I'm eating like 140 carbs. I'm like hot. No, that's wrong. 290 carbs a day. Or maybe it's 270. It's a high 200 number. Oh, come on, bruh. It's a high 200 number. And you really do. I mean, for the amount of work I'm putting out, yeah, definitely need that because I am tired. It was a heavy lift day. Got some ass to grass 405 squats in. Just so much quad work, but it's only we only hit legs once a week, so you want to make it count. It certainly feels like it's counting. I guess that's a good sign. If you're tired, you're doing something. I mean, you're certainly outputting the work. I've got to cut down the duration. It was never this long before. Maybe it's because I'm doing different camera angles. It's making everything a little longer. I need to record with intention instead of just, oh, do this. All right, so tomorrow's arm day. Not arm day. Let's see, Thursday. What is on Thursdays? Thursdays are, it's not posterior chain. It's shoulders. It is. It's shoulders. It's shoulders and biceps. So that's what we're hitting. Another good day, another good workout. And the J train just keeps on trucking. Or choo-chooing. Should I say choo-chooing? I'm not sure what I should say. I'll think on that. Damn. All right. See you guys tomorrow.